3, 2, well, that's not numbers. 3, 2, 1, play. Hi there. This is a bit different than what I usually do for my update videos, but for some reason I woke up in the mood to record something with a voiceover today. So this is what you get. I've been working on this project since the start of 2023, though with my schedule and life it's been kinda on and off. I've actually had a pretty good idea of what I'm doing for the past few months as far as level design and mechanics go, and I occasionally have a new idea for a level mechanic or something, but in general I think I figured out what does and doesn't work pretty early on. The one thing I've been wrestling with since finding the time to work on this again has been the life system, or more broadly, what to do about multiple boats at once. See, in my original draft of the game back in January, I only scripted the game to expect one per level, so you get one shot and then you have to restart. That's not exactly satisfying as a player, so I knew it's not what I wanted to do in the long term. Not to mention the whole thing was kind of limiting on the level design front. Stages started to get bigger and wackier, I'd add more and more ideas for obstacles, and the one boat thing just felt inadequate. Like, the player can't possibly make use of an entire stage. I didn't say possibly correct there, but I'm going to roll with it. I'd tried some levels early on that involved getting the boat to multiple parts of a map, but I found that kind of just made messing up more tedious, if anything. The main conceit of the game is supposed to be that it's fun to watch stupid little boats bounce their way downstream. So if I'm designing levels in a way that discourages that, then what the hell's the point? So the next logical question is, how do I want to do that? I came back to this after about a month and a half away and had several ideas, some even good. Tried out a few of them in-game, with stuff ranging from simple delivery systems to essentially golf scoring, but I filed the serial numbers off. I didn't get too deep into any of them, mainly because I wanted to keep the prototyping quick, but also because I have a very particular idea of what I want for my presentation, and already have some systems in place that handle levels and transitions in a way I know I want to keep. And I frankly just didn't feel like messing with that too much. One weekend I got a couple hours into trying to figure out how I could display some of my more complicated ideas in Unity's UI builder, and promptly decided that less is more, so I just retooled my level script to wait until every boat in the scene had been launched, and went through and added some boats to the stage. I also took 80% of the UI code I'd been testing for the last few months and replaced it with a single number. I'd say work smarter, not harder, but this was honestly more of a why bother situation, if I'm being honest. With all of that done-ish, I could circle back to building level 4, which was not hard, actually. The whole idea for 4 was just to make a level that put things from the first 3 stages in a pseudo recap. Stage 1 was the absolute basics, Stage 2 had a few more obstacles and introduced currents with different directions, and 3 had this big dead zone in the center, as well as all the bumper buoys on the side. I had a bit too much fun adding the buoys, and the buoys are great. So Stage 4 would just be all of that, but bigger, in a way that would let you have a whole mess of boats bouncing around at once. This test map I've been showing throughout the video so far was actually just the earliest draft of Stage 4, with only the main obstacle in place. It's almost the same setup as the third stage, but with the main obstacles reversed. So instead of having this ring of obstacles where all bounces kind of direct you towards the goal, you have to aim past it and use the lower part of the map to bounce yourself back up. From there, I just built up towards the start of the map, starting with the more islands, and then the buoys and the rocks. I also added a big highway, partly because I just like bridges, and also because I like the sections where the boat disappears for a little bit, and then reappears a few seconds later somewhere else. I tried a dozen or so variations on the layout, before finally settling on something for now. I'll cut the voiceover here for a little bit and just sort of show you how it turned out. And that's a level. Now, I snuck in a few extra things while I was trying stuff out. Firstly, there's this guy. He moves. I originally wasn't going to do moving obstacles yet, but I wanted to make this level feel a little more distinct from the others, so he's here, playing goalkeeper for the bridge. At one point I actually had several of these around the map, but just felt like a little too much going on, you know? Anyways, immediately below that, we've got the pit. I love the pit. It's very dumb. I went back and forth on the amount of rocks, bumpers, whatever, but eventually settled on the layout that caused the most chaos. In theory, the bumpers are the way to reach the harbor, but the way that they're laid out, half the misses result in the boat just sort of pinging about helplessly for a little bit before slowly drifting off the edge of the stage, which is great, and I added a bunch more boats to compensate for that. Oh, and on the topic of bouncing, these guys glow now. Currently, it's just a visual thing, but I have some plans for them later on, not to mention some stuff I already scripted out for them and then cut from this level. When it comes to the overall layout of the map itself, this is the part where I reveal I haven't actually played much Pachinko, and weirdly, my inspiration for this map isn't the thing I named the game after, but rather something I actually did do as a child. It's bowling. I think of this level in the same terms as a bowling alley. Up here is the approach. These currents up top form the line, and the side currents form the quote-unquote gutters. The obvious way to reach the harbor is to go straight to one of these two buoys and bounce yourself back up, but the center of the map is slow-moving and full of obstacles, and one bad hit will send you sort of slowly spinning off into the distance. So what you actually want to do is use the momentum from the currents to bounce off these rocks in a way that pushes you in, like curving a bowling ball. And that's it. This video ended up way longer than I expected. It's been 5 days. That bit at the start, when I said I woke up today, that was a lie. I woke up 5 days ago and felt like doing this. Do not watch no-clip documentaries first thing in the morning. I'll give you ideas. It's been 5 days. I'm older than when I started now, and the Kevin MacLeod song I have on in the background is about to run out. And I really don't feel like trying to stitch on an extra couple minutes. So it's probably my sign to wrap this up. I'm gonna stop now. Thanks for watching, and have a good one. I hope we can do something with that. That was very messy, but we'll do what we do.